How's it going here, everybody? I've got Saturday's upload going for you all, and it's just a very, very old RU match here I've got against this guy I found on the Smoking server on PO by the name of Point 11. I'm just going to get the team preview up and going right about now. And yeah, so pretty much this is a very, very, very long and drawn out match here. Just thought I'd let you know that in advance. So grab your popcorn, grab your drinks, because you're in for a treat, fellas, because this is a 90-turn match here. But pretty much, my own team here is just building support for a Rock Polish Ride-On and a Spec Sceptile. Pretty much Quillfish is just there for spikes and Intimidate, Clefable, Wish Passing, and Cleric support. Spear Tomb, Spin Blocking, and taking down psychic types and other obnoxious things, and also using Will-O-Wisp to burn and cripple stuff. And then Moltres again, just something to hit hard from the special side. It's more of just a standard Life Orb Roost set, not a spec set or a sub roost. I could make this thing a sub roost set if I really wanted to. I might change it, I don't know. I haven't used this team in over like 3 months now at this point. But looking at his team, the main threats I'm looking at are mainly lie within his own Moltres and his Clefable. The Moltres could be a huge issue just because I don't know what kind of set it could be running. If it is running the sub roost set, I can pretty much buffer it with Clefable, but if he does manage to take out my Clefable and he is running like just a standard Life Orb offensive set, I could be kind of screwed here because I'm not running HP Rock on my Sceptile. And I know for a fact any other move he decides to go for will easily decimate pretty much the majority of my team. So I gotta watch out for that. And as for the Clefable, the only thing I really have to hit for super effective damage is Focus Blast from Sceptile, which means I literally have to rely on Focus Blast's shaky accuracy, and just even then, if it does hit, it probably won't do too much. I'll leave it with like a decent chunk, but I'll probably be able to get it down to the range where he'll just be able to protect and then wish off and then heal it all back up to full. And I'm not going to be able to take that thing out. Other than that, though, nothing really scares me too much. Yuxi, I feel like, could be kind of an issue, but it's never really an offensive threat. I feel like I can take down pretty easily. Dust Noir could be kind of a pain, but I do have Spear Tomb lying in the wings, which does act as a pretty good check to it. And then Roselia could be kind of a pain just because I only really have Moltres to hit it hard, but it doesn't terrify me too much offensively. I feel like I can take it down with relative ease just by stalling it out with Clefable. And Kabutops does not terrify me at all. I've got plenty of things to check out Kabutops like that. I mean, Sceptile, Quillfish, to an extent Spear Tomb. Yeah, it just doesn't terrify me at all. I'm thinking he's running the set I'm running, which is basically just a standard offensive spinning set. But other than that, though, I think it's time for me to stop rambling and then jump onto the battle. So I'm just gonna go crossfade out now because I haven't done that in a while, and I've gotten comments lately saying that people have missed it, so crossfade. Alright, so I'm going to lead off with Moltres here, as he leads off with his Yuxi. I led off with Moltres because I wanted to be able to hit this thing very hard from the special side, because I know Yuxis generally tend to be more physically defensive. But unfortunately, though, I do miss both my Fire Blasts there, as he is able to both set up a Stealth Rocks and his Yawn, which really stinks because they don't pack any spinners on this team. So what I'm going to do this turn now is bring in Ride-On here, tank whatever hit he does decide to go for, as he U-turns out straight into his Roselia, and I know for a fact they'll only take Gig Drains here. So I'm going to bring in Quillfish here, which is kind of a weird switch in. But what I'm thinking about doing here is just setting up my entry hazards as he just goes for his first layer of spikes right there. I'm just going to go for that this turn, but he sets up a Leech Seed on me, so I'm going to be getting a lot of residual damage going on from my Quillfish here. Going to be losing some health, but I am able to set up all 3 layers of my spikes as he does the exact same with his Roselia, so it's kind of good and kind of bad because he's letting me set up my hazards, but I'm letting him set up his hazards, which, in all honesty, in the long run is more beneficial for him because he can just spin away my hazards, whereas I can't. So I kind of have to rely on Clefable's Wish Passing skills right here, which is something I actually just bring in this turn now, as he just decides to switch back into Yuxi. I set up my Stealth Rocks on the turn he goes for the Yawn, because I don't want Clefable being asleep here. I'm just going to switch back into Quillfish here. Get the Intimidate off. Not really sure why I brought in Quillfish. I think just because I wanted to get the Intimidate off. But he turns out now brings his Kabutops, and because I know for a fact that he'll probably want to end up wanting to Rapid Spin this turn, I'm thinking I'm going to bring in Spear Tomb here. Because I know for a fact I can block the spin, give him the Will-O-Wisp, and essentially cripple him from here on out. Well, not here on out, because this Clefable's probably back in Heal Bell. But, you know, that's perfectly fine, though. I'm just going to go for the Will-O-Wisp here, land that burn, which is really good. I'm very glad I did not miss that, because otherwise this Kabutops probably could have been a bit more of an issue. But then again, as I said in the team preview, I didn't foresee it being that big of a threat. I'm going to Pain Split this turn as he brings back in Uxie. I'm going to get a decent amount of health back. I get it back to about 3/4 of my total health. I'm going to land the Will-O-Wisp burn again, but because I am yawned, I don't want Spiritomb to be asleep here. I'm just going to switch out now this turn and bring in my Quillfish again. As I'm thinking to myself, okay, I think if I go for the Waterfall, I'm not really sure why I brought in Quillfish, in all honesty. I do make some pretty stupid plays this match, I'm not gonna lie, but let's see here. I think I just brought in Quillfish just because I wanted to get that -1 attack, that way I could heal up a little bit more, and I needed something for Sleep Otter, and I felt like Quillfish was probably the least useful in my team, maybe? That's probably why I brought it in, but in any case, now I'm just going to switch out into Clefable as he goes for the U-turn straight into his Dusknoir, and I'm not really sure what kind of set he could be running here, so what I'm thinking about doing here is I'm going to Wish first, see what he wants to do. He ends up going for the Gravity, which is kind of bizarre, because Gravity is a very, very unconventional move you'll see just in general. But it turns out that he's actually running a Gravity Dynamic Punch Dusknoir, which is kind of weird. I mean, yeah, because he's running Dynamic Punch, Gravity, Will-O-Wisp, and what I'm assuming to be Shadow Punch. So I know for a fact that he's probably not packing any form of reliable healing here, so that means I can at least Pain Split off now. But I'm just going to go for the Will-O-Wisp as he goes for the Will-O-Wisp, and then I'm going to Sucker Punch this turn because I know I'll deal a decent chunk of damage even after the burn, which is what happens just because Dark types to have 80 power. But now he's going to switch out now, bring in his Uxie here, and I think what I do this turn is just go for a Shadow Sneak. But because I don't kill it, because I guess he was just using Uxie for Death Fodder because he realized it's done his job, he's set up his rocks, he's got something to sleep. But now I'm just going to switch into Quillfish here, use him for Death Fodder now as he brings in his Roselia, just because I want to see what it wants to do. He ends up going for the Leech Seed, which does stink, but you know, it's fine because at least grants me an opportunity to bring in my Moltres here. As he switches out now, brings in his Clefable here. I'm going to go for the Fire Blast here. It does a nice chunk of damage, it does a little bit over half, which is really good. But I feel like this turn he's probably going to go for the Dex, just because I think if he's probably running the exact same set I am. I'm just going to go for the Roost here, just because I feel like as soon as he goes through the Dex, he's going to be at a range where I know I won't be able to kill it off next turn with a Fire Blast. So what I'm going to do here instead, Roost up, switch into Clefable again as he goes for the Wish, and pretty much this is where the bulk of the match happens. It's just essentially me trying to take down his Clefable and him trying to take down my Clefable, because, well, the thing is, we both know that as soon as one of our Clefables goes down, someone's going to have the upper hand in the match, because we won't be able to Wish Pass, and we won't be able to Cleric off, or do any of that jazz. So what I'm thinking about doing here this match is trying to bring in Spiritomb here, Pain Split off, trying to get it down to a range where I feel like, I mean, I know for a fact that Sucker Punch won't be able to kill just because I'm burned, but if I'm able to go for the Pain Split, then heal off a little bit, I think I might be able to do something. But this turn I bring in Sceptile on Roselia, I don't know why, because he might be back to the Sludge Bomb. I'm just going to switch out into Clefable this turn. He gets a critical hit with the Giga Drain, which does stink, but he switches out back now. I'm going to go for the Wish because I really don't want to get critical hitted, and I don't want to get nailed with that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go for the Heal Bell actually this turn. That way I can just get rid of the burn on my Spiritomb here, because I know that having a non-burn Spiritomb would be, well, pretty nice and convenient, just because physical attacks, that kind of thing. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Why else? Who wouldn't want to burn Spiritomb? I mean, come on, it's first grade science, SpongeBob. But in any case, now Moltres comes back in here. He's just gonna go for the Heal Bell of his own. That way he can kill her off his burned Dusknoir right there. And I'm just gonna Roost this turn. I didn't want to go for the Fire Blast here. I think what I'm doing this turn here is actually gonna try and pressure stall him out of Wishes, because why else would I have gone for the HP Grass besides going for those Wishes? Because I know for a fact I don't want to like be burning off my Fire Blast, and I don't want to risk them. So I'm pretty sure that's the only reason why I brought in Moltres, is simply just to pressure stall him out. Because I know for a fact, as long as I break his Wish Passing Chain, it'll be a lot easier for me to handle the rest of his team. So that's essentially what I'm going to be doing for like the next 10 turns, I think. Maybe sort of kind of somewhere along those lines. I'm not entirely certain. But I think somewhere on the line he probably will switch out into something to absorb the Wish. Because because I think he recognizes what I'm trying to do at this part of the match somewhere, I think, soon. But in any case, I'm going to go for the Fire Blast here, again, do 59%, which is actually quite impressive. So I guess I might have been able to kill that thing off with the Fire Blast had I got max damage on that earlier turn with Moltres. But whatever. I didn't want to risk maximum damage, I guess. But again, he's just going to keep going for those Protect, Wish, Stall, and shenanigans as I just roost off, go for Fire Blast or any other attack. And again, Wish, switch out though this turn into Clefable now, because I really actually want to be preserving my Fire Blast slash Air Slash for all things that'll actually be hitting, they'll be hit pretty hard and super effective for it. So I feel like I've burned off enough Wishes from this Clefable. I'm not sure how many he has left at this point. I'm thinking probably around like 5 or 6, maybe 7. So that's not too bad, but in any case, I'm going to go for the Seismic Toss here. Unfortunately, though, he does switch into his Dusknoir, and even though I have all my entry hazards up, it comes in with 5% of HP, which means he's going to be able to survive. Well, obviously going to live my S-Toss and get back up pretty much up to half of his health, thanks to Clefable's Wish. So I'm going to bring in Spiritomb again, and it just pretty much reverts to the same old song and dance again, with me trying to break his Dusknoir and him trying to break my Spiritomb with our respective ghost types here. I'm just going to Pain Split off, and then I think this turn I go for another Will-O-Wisp, because I really want that thing burned, because, I mean, that's, again, burn Dusknoir, pretty convenient physical attacker, Gravity Set, doesn't have any form of reliable healing, so I might as well try and break this thing as much as possible, because I'm feeling just as long as I break this Dusknoir, he won't really pack in too much of a fighting type. Actually, yeah, if I break this Dusknoir at this point, I won't have to worry too much about getting nailed on the physical side by Clefable, because it's looking like this is one of his more reliable physical attackers on his team. And I think this turn he was predicting my switch into Clefable, so he went for the Dynamic Punch, but I just decided to keep Spiritomb in. Not really sure why he did that. Whatever, but in any case, in comes Moltres now. And I could have sworn this thing would have been an offensive set, but I should have realized that judging by his team, he was running more of a stall-based team, so he probably should have ended up going for the Shadow Sneak. That would have gotten some damage off there. But he goes for the sub now, and it reveals to me that oh crap, it's a sub-roost set, so I don't know how to handle this thing. I'm thinking, even though I really would like Spiritomb to be able to spin block, I can't do really much with it anymore. I mean, it's done its job. He took down Dusknoir, he took down pretty much the prime physical attacker of his team, and I feel like Clefable can pretty much handle essentially the rest of his team, or the rest of his majority of his team, at least at this point. So he's going to go for the Flamethrower this turn. I'm going to S-Toss up, and I'm essentially just going to repeat the Wish, Protect, Stalling shenanigans. He does land the critical hit with the Flamethrower right there, which scared the living daylights out of me, because had he been like an actual offensive set with the Life Orb, I could have pretty much lost the Fable right there, and that pretty much would have been it would have been his game and my ass, so that would not have been too well. So I'm just going to try and break this thing again with Seismic Tosses, but I'm thinking that he might try to pull the same shenanigans I was earlier with my Moltres on his Clefable. So I'm just going to keep going for S-Tosses. I'm not going to try and like use too many Wishes, because I want to try and conserve it as much as possible, because I still need things to be able to come in and like not take too much damage. I don't have a lot of things with reliable recovery, but now that Rhydon comes in here, because I thought I might have been able to do a lot of damage here with Stone Edge. I do over half with the Stone Edge, but because I know Commander will probably want to end up protecting and doing all these shenanigans with Wishes and Protects and Heal Bells, and you know what's going on right now, I hope, at this point. So I know for a fact that Rhydon can't really kill anything. Really can't kill the Fable, so I just, again, got to stall this thing out of Wishes and Protects, so yeah, but unfortunately now, in comes Kabutops, which stinks, because I know for a fact that this turn he's probably going to end up rapid spinning, which means he's going to be able to effectively finally blow away my hazards. So I'm thinking, okay, you know what, I might as well just bring in Sceptile, just because I feel like I need to give Sceptile back up to a decent amount of HP where I know it can live a couple switch-ins here. And I know the Rapid Spin is coming, which I know I can take, because Rapid Spin is just incredibly weak. It's just like knockoff. I mean, it's pretty obvious, I guess, but in any case, now Moltres comes back in. I gotta bring in Clefable again, and it's essentially just wash, rinse, and repeat again with this Moltres just absolutely wrecking shop and messing with my brains and sorts. But I'm just gonna set up my Stealth Rocks on this turn, just because I really want my entry hazards up, and I mean, while it may not be as effective as having both spikes and stealth rocks are the most important move of the game, so I feel like I'll need that more than anything else. But he does land another critical hit there with the flamethrower, and I was very scared about that, because literally, if he got another critical hit there, it would have been his game again. So I thankfully did not get it, and I was able to get that thing off of the seismic toss, and I was able to get the wish and get back up to half of my health, which is good enough for me. But I think this turn I go for a seismic toss again, and I'm just trying to break this thing down as much as possible. But I feel like it will just be all in vain, because really, Bruce will have more HP. I mean, Bruce will still have more PPE than wishing. My wish at this point, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I don't want this thing pressuring me out, and I know eventually he'll just win the healing wars with pressure. So yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to kind of say, I guess. But now then Moltres comes back in. I'm going to try and flinch stall this thing to death, because I have a feeling, though, just as long as I'm able to bring in Moltres and I can flinch this thing out, I might have a chance of being able to take this thing out. But he does slap me with the Toxic Blister. He sees what I'm trying to do. But guess what? I get the critical hit there with the Air Slash, which is crucial, and that essentially there is the game changer right there. Because now that I have that thing down at a range where I know I can kill it off with the Fire Blast, with able to be finally out of the way, and that'll pretty much open me up to pretty much be able to take down the rest of his team. Because all he's got left in the way of standing, the only thing major that he's got standing in the way of my team now is his Roselia, and really his actually, no. It's not essentially my game, but having that Clefable out of the way really will turn the tide, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. But Kabutops comes back in, Sleptile comes back in. I just go for the Focus Blast this turn because I wanted to hit something. I'm not really sure why I went for Focus Blast. I should have seen that coming a mile away. I should have gone for HP Ice instead. But in any case now, Roselia comes back in. I know for a fact I can just take this thing's Gate Drains for 4 days with Clefable here. And I know I can just, again, Protect Wish, stall it out, and then go for them seismic tosses. Pretty much just, yeah, nothing more else to say. You guys have seen pretty much what's been going on in this match. However, though, he brings in his Kabutops right here. I'm able to kill it off the Nest Toss, which is kind of bizarre because I'm not really sure why he did that. I mean, hey, I'm not going to complain. I got rid of the Kabutops, which essentially that there sealed the game, because now I know for a fact that just as long as I'm able to take down this Roselia, which I know I can with Clefable, no problem at all. And I know, actually no, this is essentially my game at this point. Yeah, it's essentially my game, because I know for a fact that Moltres will die to Rock Switch in, so just as long as I'm able to take down this Roselia, which I know I can do with Clefable, and, you know, to a certain extent, Sceptile, I mean, from what I've seen, he doesn't look like he's packing a Sludge Bomb on this thing, so, yeah, it's essentially my game, really, because all I gotta do is, yeah, Seismic Toss a couple times. I wish past this turn I switch out, bring in Sceptile now, because I know for a fact that a couple HP Ices should be able to take this thing out. And even if he does go for the whole sleep talking rest shenanigan nonsense right there, it's doing about 45% with HP Ice, so I know for a fact it'll try and rest off here. But, you know, that's fine, because I can just keep going for HP Ices. I know eventually get down to the point where I know I can break it, but I get the critical hit there. It just saved me a couple turns of stress right there. It really didn't matter in the end. So I kill that thing off with an HP Ice, then in goes Moltres, dot Rock Switch in, and that'll essentially be my game. Whew, that was quite a long match. 90 turns. Yeah, that was a long match, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope this made up for a couple of my shorter uploads this week. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's upload, guys. If you enjoyed my content and you want to see more of my material, you can always rate, comment, subscribe, and yeah, this is essentially Infinite Trial. So you're saying peace out, Joe, and have a good one.